everybody. I'm just going to Hi everyone.
Hello. Oh, hold on, let me reverse it. We got to reverse everything.
You do.
Let me
That
see.
happened to me when I jumped
Yeah,
on.
yeah. How are you today?
I am great. The mom business owner balance.
Yes, yes. And you're still looking so fresh and so clean and doing all the things that you need to do. So good on you.
A little bit of false advertisement. We all need a little support here and there.
Oh yes, we all do. Listen, yeah, but that's all right. We do our best, and that's it. We do our best, and we forget the
That's
rest. Right?
right. Our best is good enough.
That's right.
How are
That's
you?
right. That's all we got to do.
How are you doing?
I am incredibly well. Thank you so very much for asking. I'm trying to find the right lighting, but that's okay.
So
Um,
I want to thank everyone for joining us. Me and Delisa are just going to be sharing a little bit about the education leadership meetings. So Refound Education does them on a monthly basis. We do about 10 a year, and of course, not around Christmas time. And there's a month in the summer that, people are busy enjoying themselves. So we skip one there. We have one next week on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And on that education leadership meeting, we are going to have the amazing Danielle from One Forest School, who has a daycare up north in Barrie. And we're really stoked to have her share and, um, you know, discuss how her journey was. And that's what a lot of people come on to do. They share their journey, their experiences, and we collaborate and co-create. So it's really exciting. And of course, one of our other speakers is Delisa, and she's going to share a little bit about what she is going to be talking about.
well, thank you so much, Jeanette, for having me on your leadership masterclass information session thing on the monthly. I'm actually really excited for this one because my heart is near and dear to parents and educators and just what you guys are doing. I'm a homeschooling parent. I'm a parent, so I know it is not easy. And then when you're starting a business, add compound that, and then you have relationships and your spouse. Oh my goodness, it's just all of these things. And this is where our leadership comes in, and the best way to properly lead others, including the next generation, especially the next generation with everything that's happening, is to know how to lead ourselves. And so part of that is boundaries, which we're going to talk about. And I know, people touch on boundaries and there's all of these different things, but really tapping into the boundaries. And that really sets the stage and part of the foundation of your leading leaders on your staff, leading leaders for the next generation, because we all have to remember these little ankle biters, old word, if people don't know that word, the ankle biters, they're looking up to us, right? So, mhm.
They are very important. And a lot of what people don't realize is the best of the best have walked away from the education system because it doesn't align with their ethics and their morals, and that has to change.
Yes.
So these leadership meetings really do that. They get us to align, they get us a chance to connect with other industry leaders and we get connections. Those connections help us organically grow, which is really magical. And we have these mini PD sessions. So we have our peers sharing their knowledge and wisdom, which actually saves us a ton of headaches when we know where to go, who to reach out to, some new strategies. And in the November session, so if you can't make it to this one, the November session, we're also going to have a digital freebie. So we had one before where we did how to start a podcast in 4 steps and made it so that it was super easy. Even kids can do it, to expand our reach and our voice. And so the next one is going to be a social media marketing calendar and some strategies. And Delisa is amazing at that. What are your secrets?
Oh, secrets. You got to be very organized, and you want, and if there's people that are working with you, it doesn't matter if it's one. There's always one person that kind of supports, probably unofficially supports. um, just make sure that you're utilizing them as efficiently as possible. One of the things I find with the calendar and with social media marketing, just from what I do and working with other organizations, and just so people get a little background about me, so when I'm sharing this stuff, they know I'm actually qualified at what the heck I'm talking about. They don't think I'm just rambling off the rails. I didn't just go on Google. No, I didn't. I actually am qualified. But I do have certifications as a in humanities, in research analyst, entrepreneurial development, and of course, I was in the military for almost 14 years. And I am on a board. I work on a board. I'm the vice chair, so I'm overseeing all these different areas. And of course, I'm a leadership coach, and I do business development, and that's where I help entrepreneurs. And when it comes to a business, doesn't matter what business it is, if you are looking at marketing, the first thing I know everyone says is like niching down. Well, we know what our audience is, you guys already know, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I need to be everywhere. Well, no you don't. So find a place that will actually work for you. Where are these mothers hanging out? These fathers are hanging out. What groups can you join? And then remember, you don't have to jam pack every single calendar. You don't have to do the behind the scenes of every single thing. You want to incorporate it as slowly as possible, because you all have to recognize you're waking up, you started this business, and unless you're hiring a professional, and even if you do hire a professional, you have to know what it is that you want to put out there, because that is a reflection of your vision, your mission of who you are. That's your signature, that's your brand. And so maybe you're starting off 2 times a week to start. That is a good place. And then you keep building from there. And your people will reach you. And the only thing that I would add to that, I know I'm keeping it as simple because when we get into the meeting, the upcoming meeting, you guys want to come, I will go in more detail and I'll actually outline it a lot more for you. But if you're hiring anybody, vet them. Do not just expect that, oh, they said they've worked with so many people and they 10x and they've 100x and all of these things. You have to know what it is that you want. You have to recognize your budget and what you can pay them. And then on top of that, you have to make sure that they are utilizing your voice. They understand your mission. They believe in what it is that you're doing. So it is a good representation of who you are. And yes, still answer comments. I'm not saying you got to be there the whole time, but still answer comments, because you want to know who is in your community. People are forgetting to engage. They're forgetting to connect. And that your community, as you're building it and as you're engaging, they will help you build your content calendar. You start leveraging your audience, and you want them to help you without them knowing that, so that you're giving them the things that they want, and you're not racking your brain thinking, I have to do it behind the scenes. I have to show XYZ, ABC, because this other program is doing this or that or the other.
Yes, and there's a lot of cheat codes that you can
Yeah.
utilize, and we'll dive into that, ways to work smarter, not harder. And it's always a
Yep.
challenge. Like, I have two little ones. So for me to be as engaging as I would like to be, you know, there's some struggles, but don't let that hold you
Yeah.
back. Even if you can't be perfect online, start somewhere, start a conversation, and it's just one connection at a time. And
Yes.
some of the other stuff, in terms of planning, I like to batch
Mhm.
content because my children are so young, so it helps. And we can give you some, there's going to be a ton of strategies on how you can put yourself out there, and from other people. So you're not just hearing from one voice, and you're not just hearing from myself or Delisa. It's a collaboration, it's a discussion. So, you know, Delisa will share all her knowledge, and then, you know, people will just engage and share their knowledge. Next thing you know, you it's to grow a pool of knowledge. Once we put everything together, you just, it has this snowball effect that you're going to start seeing develop, and you'll authentically build those connections, and it'll get easier and easier. And this is like the top talent, and you know, the education sector, yes, we're there for the kids, and you know, it's so heart led, but there's also, you know, that entrepreneurial element. Like you said, it's, there are pillars of business in every sector. And so I know that's very new to a lot of educators, but it's, nothing's impossible. And when you learn, the kids will learn, and you'll all grow together. You don't need to know everything. Your efforts will are enough.
Mhm. And the best part is, especially there's the, like, the community has the micro school, the learning pods, some of the, like, various locations and stuff, but they're smaller group size. And the best part of that is you're still being authentically you. So if you're like forest schools, we see this all the time, right? They're showing outside in the forest, but remember, still show your face. Don't only show the trees and the water and all the fun, amazing, great learning activities. Those things are super great. But you also want to show your face, because this is how people will get to know, like, and trust you. And that is the staple and the foundation for, with any business or anywhere. They need to see your face. They need to hear your voice if possible. And then the more they see you, and they feel like, oh, okay, I like you, I trust you, I'm gonna click that link. Oh, I'm gonna reshare this. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do that, and that's how you're going to build out your community. And the other piece is, don't feel that you have to have all the things right now, especially when it comes into business. Perhaps you're in that stage where you're like, okay, I'm launching next year, or I'm doing all of these other things. Well, start making these small, incremental, necessary steps now, which builds up.
Definitely. And when you're at maybe a stage like mine, where my kids are younger, Faith is very, she's a little bit older, and
Yeah,
she is, she's, the great thing is Delisa has incorporated her. Um, I have two rascally boys who are like an octopus and a monkey. And they're climbing. So I do more of my, you know, things online at night, and that's
yeah.
okay. There is no, there are a lot less rules than people think. Um,
Yes.
you can move in a way that's best for you, maybe in the season, and life changes constantly, and it's a pretty beautiful ride, even though it has its rocky moments.
Yes, well, for sure, for sure. You know, as we're coming on live, I know I spoke about, just touched on boundaries, something that we're going to talk about. One of the things I want to share with the business owners or the mompreneurs that are here is that they need to start thinking about collaborations and partnerships as well. That is going to be, you know, a great support for them, which they're already doing, of partnering and being part of the refounded ed community. That in itself, and then within that, connecting with other schools and in the area, or community centers in the area that is supporting what it is that you're doing. And this is how you're going to grow. This is how you're going to reach the people.
For sure. And we want to really redefine what it means to collaborate and co-create. People have very narrow ideas as they have been established within, you know, existing systems, but things can look very different. Things can look however you want them to look. You know, it's learning that it's sort like we're growing. It's almost like a caterpillar to butterfly effect and a rebirth. And a lot of us, you know, you don't have to do that part alone. And I'm really excited about that. And nobody has all the answers. And things are going to get crazy in the public education system. It can't be ignored. People can only ignore the ugly that is for so long before they really have to reflect. And accountability is necessary when it comes to our kids. It's not even an option. There has to be adults that are willing to take accountability. Children, they need to see it modeled. They need to see, you know, that growth process. And even, you know, kids don't want perfect. I've had a kid tell me they like when my lessons go wrong. I'm like, why? They're like, because I like problem solving. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, and no,
go ahead.
no, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah.
But I think people are so like kind of fixed on everything has to look perfect and be perfect. And I think when we start connecting with each other, we realize that we are pretty much very similar and aligned in so many ways. And yeah, we have similar circles.
Absolutely. And you know, you touched on something so important about how the system right now is going through an entire change. And so I homeschool, and this just actually happened. My mom was saying faith needs to be in a school. Of course, she grew up in a different generation and a different time. But she knows, you know, why this is. And then I said, okay, well, great. What school? What school? Where am I going to put her? She's like, I don't know, but she just needs to be in a school, right? Because she's thinking she still has that mindset that no, you gotta, like, if you really want to learn, you have to be in this um, system or in this place that where what she knows has worked for her, or that's what she grew up with, even if it may or may not work for her, but I don't think it worked for her. And then so it's like a contradiction. Faith needs to be in a school, but then you're hearing like, oh no, the school system is not very good. So Jesus, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's true. And like for me with my neurospicy guy working through his self-regulation, it's not even an option, because then they call the default parent, you have to go pick them up and help them re-regulate. And it's a process for growth for these kids. They don't just come, they're not little boss babies, ready packaged, ready to hit the
No. It's so true. Like today, so we're doing Faith wanted to do a 100-day challenge on the names of God. So we're doing this challenge. She had to take a couple of days off in between because she wasn't feeling too well, which was fine. So, but she started back today, recording, and we do it literally every day. So nothing is pre-done. It's always like right then. So she's getting it in real time. And one of the things that I know with her, how she learns, even though she's will retain the information and she's good with it, when she's learning, especially when it comes with the reading stuff, she puts so much in her brain, and then she tries to remember everything. But then, like, she's trying to think, you know, to the end of whatever work she's supposed to do, but she hasn't even started yet, and so then her brain gets all of these things. It's like a volcano explosion that's happening in the brain. And I laugh because, well, you know, I mean, at this point, there's nothing I can do other than laugh at it. And then I have to say, you know, take a breath and breathe. Right? What does this word say? Oh, don't think about anything else. Just look at the word right in front of you, because I know you know this word. You've read this word to me so many times. And then she would go and like, and so then she would start reading it, because she had to take a minute and release all of this volcanic eruption that happened and kind of bring it down to say, okay, I'm climbing the volcano. Let me start there. Wait, let me go that next step. Wait. Okay. So, yeah, being in a school for her, very, very hard because teachers, and this is what I got, they just either they would say, 1 minute she knows it and another minute she doesn't. I don't get it. This doesn't make sense. She's really good. And then, or they would think like, I think she's on like, she looks like she's on the spectrum. She needs this and this. And I'm like, no, she's fine. Like, so there's all of these different things, but it's because like, I'm still trying to figure out how her brain works. I don't think she knows how her brain works yet because she's 7, but it's just interesting for me now. But if I put her in a public school system or even in the private school, and she used to go to a private school, it would be very hard because they would have to be very patient, even though she knows the work and she can do it. So practically, it's great. If the words are in front of her, it takes her a minute. So it's kind of like having mild dyslexia or dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the beauty too is as we share our stories about each other and even in these education leadership meetings, we are learning the different programs and strategies. And even though like right now, they're that one-to-one more personal touch with our children is needed to get them, to develop a strong foundation so that they can approach, different programs. And it doesn't necessarily have to be school. A lot of people are stuck on that and even the credentialing system. And it's not, we have to move past that. Like the 12-year-old, that's a genius that goes through, it's irrelevant if the knowledge is there. And even if they struggle, they develop their strategies with each other's support. And, those smaller environments need to be developed. And these education leadership meetings will help with that. And these educators, a lot of them are also parents. And even the ones that aren't are just so motivated by, supporting children. And I really think that, as we grow, we have actually quite a big list of educators. So I encourage everyone to watch the recordings. They're only an hour. And we want to make sure that we get straight to the meat and potatoes because everyone is so busy, but it's the perfect opportunity for us to build relationships in a very short amount of time. And check out the newsletter. The links are there. And also in the highlights, we also have the link there. And I will make sure that it's everywhere so it's easily accessible for people.
And I really want to know what questions you may have. What are your thoughts on business development? What are your thoughts on leading leaders, training your staff, developing them into leaders? I recognize, yes, we're also dealing with children, but the people that you're working around, they're going to be dealing with them. So you want to make sure that your team is aligned with your vision. So feel free to drop in a question and bring it to the meeting because that will allow the session to go smoother, more efficient.
Absolutely, because we are in a busy time, but there are no, if you think about it, an hour a month is nothing for a very speedy kind of push through and just having a network of people. We had some recent members sign up and they were automatically connected to various people that aligned with, their interests or, specific areas. So we had someone who worked with with neurodiverse kids and they were able to connect with others to help their business, develop their strategies and their direction. And Delisa can help you with that as well. And there's so many of us that we want each other's success and we want to just change the way things go.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
the public system has been the experiment. They have always homeschooled. I had one person who was like, what do you mean you can barter your kid's education if you get a job in a micro school? That's not very wholesome. And I'm like, bartering has existed for
ever.
generations. Look at
Like,
Barter It. They're doing an amazing job, and bartering is always just, it's lost its, it's not as widely spoken of in the past, but now it's coming full circle and it's being more, spoken of. And it helps us access, there's a lot of homeschooling parents that maybe needed additional resources because we all need a village and
yeah,
nobody can do it alone.
no,
And it gives us an opportunity to just push forward on our goals without sometimes the, startups are real. The funding is, of course, always a challenge as we grow and develop. In the beginning stages can be taxing, but between each other we can help each other grow. And yeah.
yeah. And I'm trying to find it right now. I think it was is it Ireland that did that? Oh gosh, I know there was which country was it when they cut off? This was in like a couple of, hold on, which country was? Give me 1 second. But I can't remember which country it was. They cut off the system, and the people, was it Ireland? It was somewhere in Europe. This was years and years ago. And the people actually used bartering. So a lot of them were farmers, and they were in a smaller town, but they didn't have access to a lot of funding, and they didn't have access to a lot of things. And they were using bartering, and the bartering system, and that reignited the economy. They actually like essentially started their own economy because they were doing their own exchange within their own community, and then eventually, it went out even more, even more, even more. And then, of course, the country couldn't just cut them off because the people were united. Similar to, like, even with the trucking. Remember with the whole trucking uh, rallies and campaigning and everything that was going on. But and then, oh my goodness, I can't remember what it was. But then their president or something ran for election. Nobody thought they would win, and they won. Remember, this was just recently too. Which country was it? I can't remember.
I think I know.
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to
it was.
say
I know.
it
I can't remember the one where it was, but yeah, this was, and you guys can Google this, but they did that, and I was like, this is so interesting. Like when the going gets tough and the people actually stand together, this is where the major moves are made. And don't think, oh well, it's over there or it's over there. You got to look at it from right here, and that's exactly what you're doing, in my opinion, with Refounded, because you're saying, look, we got to fix it right here. And we got to mobilize the troops right here, the people, our community, because I have two young sons, and they have to eventually they're going to go off to school, or maybe they might be homeschooled, depending on, or you might get a tutor, depending on how, as you get bigger and bigger, like the business gets more expanded. And you want to have people that you can trust, and you want to be in a place where maybe, okay, we're just exchanging of services, right? Bartering those services.
And that's a big passion too, because I know they're going to amalgamate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so
it's
crap. So
it's
crap, in my
coming.
opinion.
Well, it's a good idea actually. It'll pouring money where it
Yeah.
needs to go is important. I know it's scary, but once that happens, you can pour money into where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it really does need to happen. And we can hit the ground running and building, and the frontline staff is essential. And like you said, in the season, yes, we're homeschooling, but then eventually, as you grow or the demands of your life change, you need that village, and like that, it will be well established. So as things change and develop, don't stress. We will be here. But I do encourage you to at least sign up and keep your eyes peeled about, the developments that are happening. And we look forward to having you guys be present. And yeah, there's no commitment. You don't have to, no paperwork to be
Yeah.
signed. Just come and introduce yourself and join us. We love
Yeah.
meeting new people and learning more about what everyone brings to the table, so
Yeah.
we can co-create together and share and pull on each other's strengths and develop our weaknesses.
100%. And bring questions, bring questions, bring questions.
Yes.
Come with an open mind, an open heart, a curious mind, and of course your questions that's written down on pen and paper, or maybe on your iPad or something. I don't know. Because this is the only way that we're going to learn. Like, let me tell you, I already have questions I'm going to be asking you. And, I already have questions, not for myself, but, um, for the group and for everyone else, because it's great to hear and to get the feedback. And that's the only way that we're going to grow. We're going to learn. And of course, I'm going to share my wisdom and my knowledge. So show up to that 100%. And if you have any doubts, I will encourage you, check out Faith and Sparkles World. Go on there, see the things that I'm posting. Why am I sharing what I'm sharing? The lives that I'm doing. Why am I doing the lives? The people that I'm networking with and engaging with, because this is going to help your business. This is going to help your leadership. If you're looking at thinking, okay, well, we're teaching the kids, and how can we develop child leaders? Child leaders. What does that mean? What does this look like? Well, let me tell you, my daughter's been a child leader for many years. This is not something that I'm making up. She's been out there with her books and with her speaking and doing her thing and saying, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, all right, how are we going to make this happen? And like, we're at the point now, like I go, we had a big board meeting. And so normally it's online, but I have to go in person. She was there. And some of the other kids from, this lawyer from the city of Vaughan was there and stuff like that, right? So she's playing with them, and she tells me before, she's like, make sure. And they ask, oh, where's the owner of Faith and Sparkle World? Tell them that I'm with the other kids, because, but I could come and sit if you want me to. I'm like, Faith, this is not about you. I gotta go and do my thing. Like,
she's a show stealer. I love her confidence.
Yeah, but she was so clear. But it was just like, she's like, this is what I gotta do. And then with the challenge that she started, she's saying, hey, kid leaders, this is what we're gonna do today. And I was like, all right, you want to do this challenge? It's 100 days. Let's do it. Let's see where it goes. And I'm finding we're airing it only on YouTube as a short, but surprisingly, it is really taking off. Like the first one, we got over almost 5K views on there. A few of them is like over 1,000K views, because children, of course, it's made for children. They're thirsty for it. Adults are looking at it, and surprisingly, you know what? Our highest viewer rate is Russia, and then the second one is the United States. I was so shocked at that.
Oh, that is shocking.
I know.
But awesome.
I know. I was like, what? This makes zero sense to me. I have no idea why, but that's just how it is. Canada is like number 5. Like on the YouTube channel, like when you're looking at all the analytics consistently, and the content that we're putting out, just so people know, is not like I'm not showing us what activities we're doing, or if we're in a pumpkin patch, right? Like I don't show that, because we have to be normal. But and I just don't like showing a lot of. I just don't like showing those things. But so the focus is on the virtues. The focus is on gaining understanding, getting knowledge, gaining understanding, so that your wisdom can start developing and providing you with the valuable resource that you need and the support. So you have a foundation for when you say, okay, I want to work with you. I need help with my business. I need help with my leadership. I need help with communication, or my team needs this. I can be like, okay, great. I know they've checked out a few of the videos. But as I said, like the top 3, Russia, USA, Europe, like some certain countries in Europe. And I was so shocked. But then when I look at it and you go even deeper, it's always the conservative places in those countries.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's always a conservative places that are looking and liking and sharing the stuff.
Which helps guide you. And well, we'll wrap it
Oh,
up so
sorry.
it's not too long.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But be sure to sign up for education leadership meetings. And Delisa is going to be sharing all her amazing knowledge. And well, not all, that would
Yes.
be a very long meeting.
Yes.
But she will drop some golden nuggets for you so that and then you can reach out to her again afterwards. You can reach out to everyone on the call and make sure that you stay connected. So thank you everyone for listening in, and we are grateful that you're here.
Bye. Thank you so very
Have
much.
a great one. Bye.